and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Could I have a roll call, please?
Jason Tron.
Here.
George Devitt.
Here.
Victoria Helander Heiser.
Here.
Robin Cleek.
Here.
Wes Pullen here. Matt Jacobs.
Here.
Sonali Patel.
Here. 7 present, 0 absent. Anybody from the public wishes to comment? Going once, twice?
he's coming. We got one.
Sorry.
We're not used to anybody actually commenting.
Who are
so-
you? Why are you here?
It's a rare day.
If you could just state your name.
Yeah, and my address and everything else. I sit in a chair that's not sitting too low. My name is Timothy Shanahan, 57 Knightsbridge Court in Mundelein. And hold on, let me write my notes. First off, most importantly, I want to thank the outgoing board members today. I understand and fully appreciate the time and the effort you put in. Specifically, Jason.
Thank you, Tim.
You knew this was coming. Since 2001 or 2, I'm not sure when this was, with the first referendum we worked on. You've been an amazing analytic insight. Your dedication has set a tone for what a board member should be. New board members, good luck. And be ready to learn and be challenged. Always look to do what's best for the children of Hawthorne in your new roles. Remember that you serve the district, not Vernon Hills, Libertyville, Mundelein, Green Oaks, or even Mettawa. You serve the taxpayers of 73. Finally, just from a business point, I see on the agenda a consent item, which is 8.10 for the 2019-20 administrator contract renewals and non-ESP salary recommendation. I humbly request as a taxpayer this be separated out in some discussion so we understand what this involves. And that's all I have to say. And thank you again to everybody who served on the board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One second to get myself together.
The next item is staff recognition. He's not staff, but we are going to recognize Jason.
Staff.
He's staff.
I'm not staff.
You're not staff, but we're going to recognize Jason.
So, Jason, how about standing up and we can.
I am standing up.
Now, that's not fair. You know? Let us make fun of you. Don't make fun of yourself. Okay. Jason, this is 3 terms you're finishing? Is that
Yes.
12 years?
2.5.
Okay. It's a lot of years giving up time for your family, giving up time for doing things that you would be enriched for, because the only enrichment here is what you do for children and for your community, and that's a big one. And we certainly don't want you to walk away feeling like you gave all that time and there was nothing in return. So we know how much people love plaques. So we have a wonderful plaque that you will put prominently over your fireplace or somewhere that people can see and acknowledge all the time, all the energy, all the things that you've done for the children of District 73, the people of the community of Hawthorne School District, Mundelein, you name it, Vernon Hills, all the little areas that we make up. And again, it's a noble thing to do when you know the rewards are not tangible. So we thank you. We want a speech from you, though. I know you love giving speeches when you can question the budget line item or something of that nature, but this is something from the heart. So let us remember you by hearing from you.
Oh, boy. All right, I'm going to sit down for this because
Okay.
I can't stand and think at the same time. Thank you very much, Dr. Friedman, for the kind words. Not necessary, but highly appreciated. I know you said it's a task, a job without much tangible reward, but there's a lot. And the reward to me are all the faces of the children. That's why we're here. I look out, and what I take from this, what I remember, are all the faces of all the kids that we impact by what we do here. So there is a definite tangible reward there. I'm very honored, and this is a privilege to serve. I thank the community. My family is very supportive. I've got support from the great district here, the administrators, the staff, everyone involved, and they allow me to do what I do here. So I thank everyone for that. Best of all, I look forward to sitting on the sideline and seeing what's to come with this district. So I think there's a lot of great things happening, and I just look forward to being on the sideline and watching you all work. So that's all I have to say.
So, our plaque says, Jason Tron, thank you for your dedication and 11 years of service as a school board member and vice president for Hawthorne District 73. By word and deed, your presence has enriched the lives of students and served as an example to all. April 22nd, 2019. Get your own picture. Perfect.
Anybody else want
And
to say a few?
through 11 years, I never had the job of secretary, so I avoided that.
Today you
That
know
hardly
that.
seems fair.
Because that is the hardest job on this board.
Yes, it is the hardest job. Okay. I just wanted to say thanks. I've worked with Jason for the past 4 years, and I'm going to miss him amending the motions, though he doesn't like to read the motions, and breaking down the math in simplistic terms. He's always calm, and I'm going to miss his voice of reason. Sometimes when I have also gone wandering somewhere off the topic. So he does always used to bring us back. He knew the Roberts rule more than most of us on the board were, and he could regurgitate that really fast. It was just last year that I did see him the first time. I always thought he was the calmest guy around because, there have been times like all of us have lost it. The thing that gets Jason is if you don't get the math when he's explaining the math. I have seen him look frustrated when somebody wasn't getting it. And it was just funny because it was nice to see him get frustrated at something because normally it's the rest of us who do that job. So we will miss him. There are going to be committees. I'm sure Dr. Hannigan will find some, and we can put Jason's. We know where he lives. It's right next to George. We have his numbers, and he will be a part of that committees because he's been there, and he's going to miss us.
Unless you're driving your daughter's gymnastics.
Yes,
We will
that will
definitely
continue
miss him.
for a while.
And if there's any consulting services, you are more than welcome to come. Of course,
All right.
voluntary
Of
consulting
course.
services. But thank you so much.
Thank
for
you. Thank you.
all that you did for the kids. The next item is President's report. I don't have a report, but Matt does from CDOG.
Oh, yeah.
Blank slate there,
Blank
too.
slate. Yeah. So,
I have the email you sent us. You want to read the same email?
yeah, I can kind of. We had a brief strategic meeting with CEDAW last week. One of the parents, Kim McAuliffe, also attended, where they basically kind of went through what they're working on. They're splitting out into subcommittees. I don't remember which one Kim is on. Parents. I'm on communication, which was the smallest of the groups. There's only 5 of us. Interestingly enough, the Illinois Association of School Board President is also on that committee. So get a little insight into that, working. It was interesting. They kind of went over some of the issues that they're going through with teacher turnover and morale issues as well, and the budget, which is always enlightening. So we have subcommittee meetings here and there. I have one on May 15th, so I can provide some insight on those as we go forward. That's about it.
Thanks. Thanks for attending that.
It was very exciting. There was pizza.
That makes it all worth it.
Actually was.
So, superintendent's report.
Couple quick things. Oh, he is in the audience. We talked about him earlier. We'd like to take just a minute or two to acknowledge one of our colleagues, Art Abrego, who is now Dr. Art Abrego. And you could raise your hand so people could see you. And so it's a major accomplishment. Those of us who are educators know how difficult it is to reach that plateau where you receive that doctorate. So congrats on that, Art. Very nicely done. The next little bit of tidbit is we just have our new enrollment numbers are in, and our total number is 4453 at the latest that we just got from our office. So our numbers are solid, and it just reinforces what we were thinking as we decided to expand and build onto our building. So it's good to have that questionable thing. Always the numbers go up one year, they go down the next year, but our trend is looking really good. We also teased everyone with the name for the kindergarten center, and then Abe found that we needed to do a little more formal move on that, and so we will be following up with a formal recommendation to name the building. We are going to go ahead with the groundbreaking. The groundbreaking is the 6th for those in the area. And shortly after that, at our next meeting, we will have an official recommendation for the name of the school. The last name that we gave it was the Hawthorne School for Young Learners. And that's where we're at right now. Some people have come up with some other suggestions, but Hawthorne School for Young Learners, our policy calls for a recommendation from a committee. We came up with this name during the administrative team meeting. So the administrative team served as a committee ad hoc. However, we're still open to additions or other recommendations, but we really want to get this thing moving because signs are going to be printed and references are going to be made to the actual name of the school, especially after the 6th when we get the shovel in the ground. So big, important timeline. A great piece of news. I look at Lynn, and we have to say, Joe and I talked about this. We were probably a little surprised when we came in last August and saw the registration days, 3 days, 4 days, and all the people that were involved. And we encouraged Lynn and our staff to look at an online system. We implemented the online system. There have been over 1,000 inquiries on our Facebook page, is what we're told. 465, is that the number now, Lynn? 465 people have registered, online in 2 days? Since Friday. So it seems like the online registration is something that people have been waiting for a long time, and we're going to continue to push that and advertise that.
May 10th is the deadline for anybody watching for online registration.
We know there'll be a big surge on May 9th.
So I have a question. The registration's been online for a while, but the residency verification has not. Is the residency verification part of the online registration right now?
Good question. I don't know.
It is automatically verified.
Okay, so that's not a separate link coming at a later date or anything? Okay, thank you.
And so with that, we hope to, one, have this as the permanent approach to registration, and we're working closely with the PTO. Joe and I have met with the leadership of the PTO to have all of their issues addressed in the registration process. We don't want to take a chance that people will lose interest in becoming members of our PTO. They're actively looking for volunteers and people to work on behalf of students and families in District 73 with the PTO. So if you've got any ideas about joining, please do. But we're going to give you an opportunity to do that through the registration process. It was very critical for the leadership of the PTO to get us to be able to have them have a special space to acknowledge them and to have people sign up. So very important piece of any school district. So that's it.
So, you want to talk about the 8th grade plan?
Oh, I know it's up here somewhere. Okay. 8th grade promotion, the 28th of May, a double header. As I understand, we do first. I'm not sure who's first. Is South first, Rob? North is first,
At
and that
6
starts
o'clock.
at 6 o'clock, all at Vernon Hills High School. And that will be followed at 8 o'clock by South. And I understand, Joe, we are drafted to be part of the graduation
there.
ceremonies. So we're very much looking forward to that. And Robert, you're leaning over. Is there something that I missed?
So the awards are in the morning at 10 o'clock at Middle North and Middle South. We normally have one board member attend the awards. And then in the evening, we have the Middle North at 6 p.m. and Middle South at 8 p.m. And one of the board members normally is voluntold or volunteers to give the graduation speech. So any takers on that one?
Jason says he'll do it.
George, I'm off.
Ex officio.
I have my own 8th grader graduating this time, so I'm definitely not making the speech because I don't want to embarrass him. But
I could ask for
Would you like to
permission.
pass out the?
would you like me to make the speech, Ben?
That's kid
That
for
didn't
no.
sound genuine.
Yeah, that wasn't a ringing endorsement.
So I will be in attendance at the Middle North award
Awards?
ceremony in the morning, and I'll be in attendance at the ceremony, but I'm not going to do the speech.
So we definitely need Middle South, and then if somebody wants to take the time to think as who will make the graduation speech, promotion speech, let me know. You can let Bobby know too.
I'll attend the middle school South 8th grade awards. I went last year. So I'll do the awards
Okay,
and I'll think about the graduation.
okay.
I was waiting for you to tell me I had to do it.
The new guy.
There's a lot of people here who haven't done it. Me and Sonali are the only ones that have, so.
Well, wait, we
And
don't have
me.
everybody. Joel hasn't said anything.
Well,
We may be
Jason,
able
but
to
you
dump
won't
the
be part of the
Joel's
board.
responsibility.
So North, Robin, you'll go for the awards, and West, you'll go to the South awards, right?
Mhm.
So at least we have those covered, and then we can talk about the speeches. Let Bobby or me know.
Okay.
Bobby, do you still need me to email you about?
The awards, no,
Okay.
just the
It's-
speech.
I put it in my calendar, so we're good.
The next item is the 2018-19 budget amendment.
Yes, this is informational at this point. We will present the 2018-19 budget amendment at the next board meeting, May 20th. This includes a public hearing. Our budget was adopted September of last year. In November, our referendum passed. The budget did not account for the referendum. And so as a result, we will amend the budget. Expending more than the budgeted total requires the adoption of an amended budget. The total difference is $13.5 million for Sullivan in revenue. And then for this fiscal year, we will expend $6.9 million in the construction of that building. Are there any questions related to that?
We'll get the memo, and then we'll.
Correct. Information will be forthcoming prior to the next meeting where we'll present the budget amendment.
Anything else changing other than the,
Primarily,
Referendum.
that is it. A few other additional small components that I'll update in the memo, but this is the big one, the big item.
So, next is the consent agenda, and the consent agenda is, the consent agenda 2 is going to go in with the consent agenda 1. So the consent agenda total will be the board meeting minutes for the last April 8th meeting, the closed session minutes for 6 or 7 meetings. I don't have the dates right in front of me. Then it's the press 99 as presented, the 5-year, the press 99 and the 5-year updates, treasurer's report for November 2018, treasurer's report for December 2018, treasurer's report for January 2019, treasurer's report for February 2019, the expenditure report, the Amex report, kindergarten cost log, the final school calendar for 1920. No,
that
it's
was for
1819 because it's
1819.
1819.
Amending
It's for
this
this.
because
It's
of the
amend-
snow.
We have
For
the
the
other
snow
one there
days.
too, yeah.
It's amending for that one day,
Right.
for one.
Gotta be careful.
Might still get a snow day.
Yeah, the way this spring is going.
Robin offered that on Facebook. The 2019-20, the administrator contract renewals and the non-union ESP salary recommendation and the personnel report. Jason, do I have a motion?
Wait, hold on.
Or do we want to pull something?
I was gonna say, did we want Abe to explain a little bit about, I mean, we can't obviously explain some of the personnel concerns, but, not concerns, personnel feedback, but
Yes.
did we want to have Abe explain anything about the administrator contract renewals?
Sure. So that component, the non-union ESP for 2019-2020 is exactly what we afforded the union ESPs for year 2, which is CPI plus 0.25%. So it's a 2.15% increase for all non-union ESPs. There are administrators that only had a 1-year contract, so we're reciprocating the second year of the 2-year contract. It's 2.3% CPI plus 0.4%, resulting in a total increase of 2.3% for administrators, which is in line with the MA 32 teachers, which is within the HEA agreement.
Thank you.
So do I have a motion? Jason?
I move the board approves the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Jason, seconded by George. Can I have a roll call, please?
Jason Tron,
Aye.
George Fivet,
Aye.
Victoria Heelander Heiser,
Aye.
Robin Cleek,
Aye.
West Pole and I, Matt Jacobs,
Aye.
Sonali Patel.
Aye. Motion passes 7 ayes, 0 nays. The next is, in the action items, is the paper bid. Do you want to say something about that? Abe?
Sure. We had 4 bidders. Midland Paper is the lowest bidder at $25.79 a case. The cost per case actually went up by 11%. We decreased our usage and decreased the order for this year down to $21.60. The overall cost for 2019 will be $55,706.40, approximately down about $870 from the previous year. The recommendation is to approve the 2019 paper bid to Midland Paper for that dollar amount.
Are we not sharing this agreement with Oak Grove anymore?
We are,
We are.
yes,
It's just not listed.
correct.
Okay.
And I had a question which was regarding the paper cut, which was the software that we are using to track our paper usage. Do we have anything that we can share regarding, I mean, we just started implementing it, so it's not even been a full year, but anything regarding trends that we are seeing or something that we can kind of take into account or should be looking at? Anything
Sure.
from the paper
This
cut?
year was basically we assessed, we monitored usage throughout all the schools by employee, by department. We're going to use that data to set benchmarks and caps for next year.
Okay. Okay. Any more questions? Can I have a motion?
Jason?
I move that the Board of Education approve the 2019 paper bid to Midland Paper for $55,706.40.
Second.
Motion by Wes, seconded by Robin. Could I get a roll call, please?
Jason Tron,
Aye.
George Fivet,
Aye.
Victoria Heelander Heiser,
Aye.
Robin Cleek,
Aye.
West Pole and I, Matt Jacobs,
Aye.
Sonali Patel.
Aye. Motion passes 7 ayes, 0 nays. The next action item is the flooring bid. Could you give a quick update?
Sure, the elementary south flooring project, it was reviewed at the January 14th board meeting. The current flooring system is a poured rubber product. It is over 20 years old. I believe it may be original to the building. Pictures of the damages and the separation has been shared with the board back in January. Principal Dr. Martin may attest that we have more repair tape than actual flooring at this point. The new recommended product is sheet vinyl. It's designed for athletic areas. Vernon Hills High School currently uses this very same exact product. It comes with a 20-year warranty. We had 6 bidders. HHI was the lowest bidder. And the qualifications as well as the references came back very positive. It is under budget, significantly $48,000 under the original budget. So the bids came back very competitively. Any questions related to that?
Any questions? Do I have a motion?
I move that the Board of Education approve the Elementary South Gym Flooring Replacement Project to Haldemine Home, HHI, for $78,790.
Second. Oh,
Sorry.
sorry, that's all Matt.
Second.
Motion by Wes, seconded by Matt. Could I have a roll call, please?
Sonali Patel,
Aye.
Matt Jacobs.
Aye.
Wes Pullen, aye. Robin Cleek.
Aye.
Victoria Helander Heiser.
Aye.
George Fivet.
Aye.
Jason Chalk.
Aye.
Motion passes 7 ayes, 0 nays. The next action item is the reorganization of the board. You want to take that?
For those who are unfamiliar with this process, we have just had a recent election. Jason Tron has retired from our board. I think that's the best way to describe it. A young guy to retire. You get your pension somewhere.
Tiring on top.
Yes. And in our recent election, we had school board members who've retained their seats, as well as a new school board member elected, Joe Finfer. And at this time, we're going to go through a process where we're going to, as we call it, reorganize the Board of Education. This means that we will issue an oath of office, and the newly elected candidates will take the oath of office. We will then elect officers. Anyone can be nominated, and the board will elect officers from within. Then, at that time, we will then name members to committees and to other positions. We have a list of them. Secretary, we will have an election for the secretary. We will have committees, CEDAW representative, EdRed representative. We will have people on these different venues. So the process is a little bit involved. It doesn't take all that long. It begins with the Board of Education current president naming a president pro tem. The president pro tem can be anyone, including the superintendents, and the president pro tem will take over the meeting for a short period of time. The short period of time he or she will then issue or will then administer the oath of office to the board members and call for nominations for the position of president. Anyone can be nominated. A person can self-nominate. There are no rules governing who. Then we will conduct the election. As soon as the election is completed and a new president is elected, the new president will take over the rest of the meeting and the reorganization piece and make those assignments. So with that, I think the best thing to do is now start this process underway, and Madam President will now name President Pro Tem. President Pro Tem means you're sitting in for a very short period of time just to get a couple of things done, then to move on to the next stage of this whole reorganization process.
So do I just make the action? Okay.
Yeah, you
I recommend.
ask for a motion to
Okay. I make a motion that the Board of Education appoint Dr. Mark Friedman as the president pro tem. Do I have-
Second.
Second.
So
Do we have to say all in favor?
All in favor.
All in
you
favor?
can do it. You don't have to, but you can. Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
last
Sweating
chance.
that one. There was
You know,
an
I have
opposed.
options.
Just for fun, somebody could have said that.
And we
So-
have options, so.
So at this point, the president pro tem, that's my role now, I'm trying to do this as an education where you have young people in the audience, learn a little something about governance. And maybe some of our administrators too, so, since I can joke with them. So at this point, I will adjourn the meeting sine die. Does anybody know what sine die means in Latin? It's a Latin term. Without is right, without. Connie, what else? Or Sandy? I can't see back there, I don't have my glasses.
Death?
Yeah, without death. And that means without completely adjourning the meeting, you roll then into the next stage. So at this point, without adjourning the meeting, I'm going to call for nominations for President of the Board of Education. And I would ask our secretary to take these nominations. And then
Don't you have
to
We need to swear
secretary
people in
pro?
first.
Yeah.
take the oath.
You need,
Doesn't Joel
you
get to
need Joel
participate?
Oh, yeah,
first.
I'm sorry.
You jumped a
I
few.
jumped a step or two. It's
Because
been a
Jason
while.
wants to leave.
So-
Appoint a
Jason,
secretary
yes.
pro temp.
Come on
He's already
out.
turned his folder upside down. He's out of here.
Do you want to do the secretary pro temp too, Mark?
That's
Down
Don't
at
we all
7-1.
5 of us need to be sworn in?
Yeah, I think so.
5
Yeah.
of us need to be
Yeah.
sworn in.
everyone who. Everyone who was elected at the last election takes the office. So that is correct. So we welcome Joel Finfer to our seat at the end of the table here. So at this point, as you can tell, we have a little bit of a script. So I want to make sure. I went off script and kind
Look
of
what happened.
got off base here. So the first thing that we'll do as President Pro Tem is administer the oath of office. And then we will elect the president. Then we will,
We appoint a secretary pro temp
yes,
first.
yes. Well, actually, we don't have that on our list, but that's okay.
No.
We can do that. No, it's not on our cheat sheet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's okay. We can appoint a secretary pro tem. So I would call, well, I would call for nominations. So there are 2 people who are on the board that have not been sworn in. And do we have any nominations for President pro tem, Secretary pro tem?
I nominate Matt Jacobs.
It's just for 5 minutes, Matt.
5 minutes.
Yeah, it's really quick, just like this.
Is this paid, right?
On a pro rata basis, you earned about 5 cents.
Yes. Okay, do we have, let's take a vote. Do you vote for Wes? Those voting for Wes Poland?
No, I thought we were
For
voting
president, or for
For
secretary pro tem?
Mhm.
It's Matt.
I'm only voting for Matt.
Oh,
Do we even get to
I'll
vote?
do
We
it.
haven't
Let's just
sworn in
go.
yet.
okay, Matt is president pro, secretary pro tem.
Nominated first.
That's true.
I nominated Matt first.
Okay.
It's going to be over painlessly, really quickly. Okay. The president looks at Matt Jacobs. Matt Jacobs, for the record, you are secretary pro tem. Now we're going to ask that each of the newly elected board members stand, and we will administer the oath of office.
Do we need to come out there?
There's no protocol for it, but it's nice. It's a good picture.
Okay.
It's a great picture.
You want us out there? We are.
All of us together?
Yes. That would be really nice.
That would be nice.
I state your name.
Write what down? They're all
All I
sworn
could
in.
think of was the old Three Stooges.
All the marching.
Jason, I forgot something.
Where would you like us so it's easier to get pictures?
Your meeting.
We're trying to post.
I'll read it. You don't have to worry about reading it. So, I
I,
state your name.
Robin Tweed,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office
of member of the Board of Education of Hawthorne Community Consolidated School District 73,
of member of the Board of Education of Hawthorne Community Consolidated School District 73,
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States,
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the laws of the State of Illinois,
and the laws of the State of Illinois,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Very good. So we're going to.
By myself.
I did too.
Did he do his roll call? Did he do his roll call?
Matt's gonna
Matt,
do a
now
roll
you
call.
need to do a roll
I gotta do a roll
call
call.
of all the board members that are now seated.
All right. Joel Finfer.
Here.
George Beavitt.
Here.
Victoria Heeland-Heiser.
Here.
Robin Cleek.
Here.
Wes Poland.
Here.
Matt Jacobs here. Sonali Patel.
Here.
Okay, well done. Your job is over.
Now
Nailed
for
it.
the impeachment of the President Pro Tem. Do I have a motion for impeachment?
Joe has impeached you, yes. So the next act, and this is very serious, we're going to elect the president of the Board of Education. Right now, the first thing we do is we accept nominations for president of the Board of Education, Hawthorne Community Consolidated School District 73. So the floor is open. Nominations will be accepted, and our recording secretary will record the nominations. Joe.
I'd like to nominate Robin Cleek for president.
Do we have additional nominations?
I'd like to nominate myself. And I'd just like to say a couple of words. Can I say that?
Sure.
Okay. So the past 2 years have been kind of a lot for our district. We've gone through a lot together. There have been a lot of changes, and I have been a part of that. You guys have seen me work. You've seen my ability and willingness to work, my commitment to the district, the temperament of dealing with a lot of issues that we came up with. So for the continuity, not just having the institutional memory, which I have, but also some of the information, and having worked through a lot of changes, I'd like to offer that as a continuation for our new administration going forward. So that's why I'd like to nominate myself, and I hope he'll support me. Thank you.
Anything, Robin, would you like to say?
No, I mean, thank you, Joel, for the nomination. I accept. I feel I can do a good job, but I'm not going to campaign for office, so.
Yeah. Are there other nominations? Again, nominations, self-nominations are all acceptable as long as you're a voting member of the board. I want to keep my job as pro tem as long as I can.
Aw.
Everybody nominate themselves.
All right, now at this moment, we're going to then take our votes, and we will first accept, as Robin, you were the first nominated, we will accept votes on behalf of Robin Cleek. All those, please signify by raising your hand so we can see who you vote for. Those who are voting for Robin Cleek, please raise your hand.
I'll vote for myself, because otherwise that's weird.
You can vote for yourself.
Yeah, of course you have to.
Okay, thank you. Sonali Patel. Okay. So as we do the simple math, Robin Cleek, it will be the new president of the District 73 Board of Education, and now we'll take over and we'll walk you through the next steps.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you.
I'll sign them later. I'll come pick up my purse later.
I'll go through it.
There's nothing in there.
Okay. Do I get to use the gavel yet?
If
Just
you'd
kidding.
like.
No, I'm just teasing.
Not on me, please. So next, we're going to go. Elect the secretary.
Okay, so we will now accept nominations for secretary.
West Poland.
Are there
I
any
would
other
like to
nominations?
nominate George Beavitt.
Does that mean you do not accept the nomination?
I do
for
not
yourself?
accept.
Okay, so Wes is off the table. Thank you for your 2 years of service, though.
You're welcome.
Any other nominations besides George? George, do you
If
accept
I
that
can
nomination?
help,
I'll
there is
accept the nomination.
compensation for this position.
Jason's
We'll be
comments
setting it.
withstanding, I'll still accept the nomination.
There is a whole $60 per half year involved. And
Well,
although the tradition is to donate it back to the district, think of all the things you could do with $120.
Hospitalities are endless.
Didn't increase the number of interested parties, okay? So we have 2 nominations? Or
Well,
is-
Wes
or-
didn't accept. We
Yeah.
have 1 nomination, so if everybody could raise their hand if you are in favor of George Beavitt for secretary for the next 2 years. It's unanimous.
It's unanimous.
You're in.
Thank you, George.
Thanks.
So now,
Oh, thank you.
we need a motion to set the compensation for the secretary.
I move that we set the
Thank you, Leslie.
compensation for the secretary of the Board of Education at $120 annually, half
Yes.
paid in December and the other half paid in June.
I second.
Thank you. All in, oh, it's
Any
money, so
discussion?
we need a roll call vote.
Any
Mr.
discussion?
Any discussion?
Anybody want to raise the ante?
Put in their own money? Okay.
Okay.
So George, we need a roll call vote.
Okay.
please.
Joel Finfer,
Aye.
George Beavitt. It seems wrong to say I, but I will. Victoria Helander Heiser.
Aye.
Sonali Patil.
Aye.
Wes Poland.
Aye.
Matt Jacobs.
Aye.
Robin Cleek.
Aye.
Okay. Now, we're going to.
Okay. So now we need nominations for vice president for the next 2-year term for the Board of Education. Yes, Joel.
I'd like to nominate West Poland for vice president.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Wes, do you accept that nomination?
I accept.
Okay, so this also goes by a show of hands. So will everybody in favor of Wes Poland for vice president, please raise your hand. Thank you, Wes. That's 7
unanimous.
ayes, 0 nays.
You have to appoint people to committees.
Okay. Can you give me a list of committees?
Yeah, somewhere.
I know we need a CEDAL rep.
CL rep, Ed Red.
CEDAL meets quarterly, correct, Matt?
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly. There's sometimes 1 or 2 extra.
I'll just keep doing it.
Oh, thank you. Matt will be CEDAL rep for 2 years unless somebody else is dying to do it.
Can we keep Vicky as the ed red?
If Vicky
If
wants
Vicky
it.
wants it.
I would.
Nice.
Okay.
Thanks.
Those
you.
are the 2
Those are the 2 most
major-
important.
Yeah, most important ones. There will be things come up. We're going to need to assign people to tasks that will represent our district in a couple of different areas.
Robin, we have the new press subcommittee, but
There you
we
go.
haven't decided for sure if we're gonna, take turns
We're gonna
with
take
that,
turns.
or have it be, Robin volunteered to,
Wes.
Wes volunteered to do that one more time, so. I don't know
Madam
how
Vice
you wanna
President
handle
said we're taking turns. I think it's fair to take turns. Press is kind
Okay.
of a big, boring commitment.
it. Okay.
So if,
Nonetheless important.
it's very important,
Yeah.
but
And you're okay doing on number 100? We'll do
Yeah, I
that?
already have the materials. I've already started.
Perfect. Okay. and
okay,
then
so
next
at the
for
next
there.
meeting, we'll figure out
Okay.
who will do the one after that.
Maybe we can
Yeah,
make a little
there will be
schedule.
ad hoc opportunities for other board members to serve on committees. You'll have a negotiations thing next year. You have quite a few things
We
going
probably have
on.
strategic planning coming up.
Dr. Hannigan's got a whole bag of tricks where
He's a committee guy.
yeah, he likes committees. So I have a feeling there'll be plenty for everybody to do.
Okay.
So I think we're good there.
Long back in here. Do we have to read the FOIA request in the record?
No.
You have to ratify contracts.
We have some prior contracts, right? Okay. are they included in the packet, or are they in this packet?
It's just a motion to ratify all contracts.
Yeah, this is just anything that's out there,
Not
we don't have
seeing it in our
anything, yeah.
Agenda
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I thought we did that.
I don't see it in the agenda, so can we do it?
No. It's 7.9.
7.9?
Oh, I was down.
Yep,
Thank
there you go.
Ah, there we go. Okay. I make a motion that the Board of Education ratify all existing contracts which were previously approved by the prior Board of Education.
I second.
Can we get a roll call vote, please?
Joel Finver,
I'm going to abstain.
George Vivet, aye. Vicky Heelander Heiser,
Aye.
Sonali Patil,
Aye.
Wes Poland,
Aye.
Matt Jacobs,
Aye.
Robin Cleek.
Aye. Okay. All right. Board meeting schedule, item 7.10. What are your comments?
No, explain to people what's going on.
So for the 2019-2020 school year, we have a draft board meeting schedule here. It looks like it is, wow, okay.
It's quite different.
It's quite
Yes.
different, so lots of months with just one meeting instead of two, it looks like. Correct? Oh, okay.
Maybe we should explain a little bit.
Yes, please.
Mark, why don't you give the background?
Yeah, so in looking at the board calendar, when Joe and I arrived, we saw there was a lot of meetings, and you basically finish one and you're prepping for another. We thought both of us have had experiences where the meetings were less frequent, but yet very directed, and everything accomplished on an efficient and an expeditious way. And so we talked a little bit about it would be nice if we went in a little bit different direction here and took a little bit of the pressure off regarding the frequency of meetings. So when Dr. Hannigan was brought in, first thing he said was, oh, there's 2 meetings a month. I'm used to 1 per month. And I said, well, Joe and I had talked about that. And so when we decided to start on this calendar for next year, we talked about what are some of the things that we could do that would change the calendar and maybe change a little bit of the culture of Monday night being the night, and then you've got the rest of the week to recover from a late Monday night if it happens. So in conjunction with our new superintendent, Dr. Hannigan, we came up with the idea of a Thursday night calendar. So instead of this being at the beginning of the week, we're going to look at a calendar that brings you in on Thursday nights. It also reduces from 2 times per month to some months have 2 meetings, some months have 1. That doesn't eliminate the opportunity for calling meetings or adding additional meetings along the way. I don't know what that was.
A voicemail.
A quick question.
So how does that?
Well, so there have been a number of things. I mean, I know I have like a couple of months of experience, so forgive me if I'm off base. But there's been a couple of times where, Abe, you've brought something to our attention with the direct intent of us being able to vote on it in 2 weeks' time. Does this cadence harm us in that respect?
I have tentatively aligned the business office calendar to what's been proposed to you tonight as well.
Okay.
We brought Abe in.
It's changed.
Okay.
Again, things are changing.
I'm willing to give it a shot. I think we have flexibility that if we find there's a particular moment in time we need another meeting, then we can
Absolutely.
call that with plenty of
Always.
notice.
Yeah.
Does anybody feel differently?
I agree. I also really like the Thursday, the change to Thursday.
Yeah.
We did a very unscientific survey of neighbor districts or other districts. Thursday, a very popular night for school board meetings because then it gives Friday for following up on everything, as opposed to here it's Monday and then now
All week.
you've got all week to really get to it, and then by Friday, what was I supposed to do? It's human nature. So we thought it was a great idea. We don't take the credit for it. We take Dr. Hannigan for his word that this is a good model. It works really good.
Okay.
Less pressure for AP approval over the weekend.
Yes, yes. Plenty of time to get questions answered during the work week. One of the things that we've tried to do, I hope you can hear, is work-life balance is important to us, and we try to impart that on our staff. And the administrators have heard us talk about it many times. Joe and I believe really sincerely in this, and Abe has reiterated the same thing, Lynn too, is that we should give ourselves some break over the weekend. The volume of emails, the volume of text messages, those type of things, if they can wait till Monday, they should, so that you can lead a life. You have families, children, you have things to do. We'd like to be able to get back to a little bit of that kind of a model.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the board meeting schedule for 2019-2020?
I recommend that the board approve the board meeting schedule as proposed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes 7 ayes, 0 nays. All right, we already approved all the press as part of the consent agenda.
Yes.
Okay, you already went over enrollment. Are you gonna do the congratulations to a few of our teams? You want me to do it?
Oh, I don't know.
You do it. The board just wanted to issue congratulations to our Hawthorne Middle North Science Olympiad team. They placed 7th out of 50 teams at the State Science Olympiad. We also had students earn 7 individual medals, earn individual medals in 7 events. Our Middle South students put on a production of Oklahoma this past weekend. Reviews were outstanding. I heard lots of good feedback. Congratulations to the students and staff that worked hard to pull that off. And this upcoming weekend is Middle North's production of Aladdin. Check that out. Congratulations to Mr. Kao and the Hawthorne Middle North Scholastic Bowl team for their successful season. They are the regional champs, so well done.
Great. Quick superintendent report comment. We want to say, not yet, but we want to congratulate Jamie Kahn, who will be leaving us for another district, and we're sad about that, but people leave and come back, so you never know, but your departure has not been well received,
No,
which
you
is
will be
good.
missed. You will be missed. Are there any topics for future agendas?
Since the registration has already started, we still haven't, we were looking for the memo from Art regarding the assessment / feedback from the rollover of the dual language to the 6th grade. So are we going to do that for the 7th grade? We were waiting to see the assessment of its efficacy, efficiency, satisfaction with the parents before we roll
Sure.
it over.
We'll follow through on that.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So we're still waiting on that.
Okay.
Yes.
Anybody else? Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
On a
All right.
7-0 vote.
7 ayes, 0 nays. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Thank
everybody.
you. Very